So these two, they need to be together. So young people must know how to put money together. Young people must stop thinking that when I put money together, I must be seen to be better than that one. I must seen to be better than, I must be well dressed. I must have a beautiful hairstyle. I must have a beautiful makeup. It shouldn't be about you alone. See if you can put things together as a team for you to be in the destination that you want to be in. But the minds must be. And young people, stop putting together Stokvels for Christmas. Stop doing that. It is not taking you anywhere. If you decide you want to be in Stokvels, be in Stokvels for serious business. Don't be in Stokvels because you ufuna matsoho magushona. Being created by small businesses. We spoke a lot about the economy growing because of small businesses. And I'm sure you would also notice even now that as much as government employs, but a lot of businesses that we see these days are businesses that are coming from small businesses.
Is it not male dominated?
It is, but what's the difference between us and men?
Oh, I love your
I don't think there's any. When we go to the meeting, we go to the same meeting with them. When we contribute, sometimes we contribute more than them. So what you do, you make sure that you put a salary for yourself. Just like the employees are getting paid, you also get paid. And sometimes you don't even get paid when you see that the cash flow this month doesn't allow me to get the salary. Let me rather pay them. I would come last.
Hi everyone, welcome to Motivation Corner, the biggest podcast in Witbank, soon to be big in South Africa and globally. My name is Mbulu Gang and I'd like to welcome those who are here for the first time. And I just want to say welcome, you are at the right place. And those who've been coming like since forever, guys, you are appreciated and thank you so much for your constant support. I cannot thank you enough. Like every time I'm gonna thank you. So thank you so much to those who are commenting, those who are liking, those who are sharing my content with their families and friends. Thank you so much. If you are new, you can do the same. And yeah, let's share the good news. Like I said, this is Motivation Corner and we're here to inspire. We're here to motivate. We're here to bring positivity, especially to the community of Emalahleni. But because this is global, because this is YouTube and anyone anywhere can see this, so we hope that you are inspired anyway. So guys, today I'm so honored, like very, very honored. I had to make calls or text a very prominent woman. In my eyes, she's very, very prominent and she's very humble. Guys, have you ever like tried to send someone their profile, like, yo, this person is it's here according to our own standard, and be like, can I please interview you? And with grace, they're like, tell me about your project, what you wanna do, and with so much grace, guys. Guys, today I have the beautiful Thabsile Ranape. She was a teacher, an accountant, an administrator, and currently a businesswoman. So welcome to Ranape, and we hope to learn a lot from you today.
Now, welcome, Pulukeng and your audience out there. I am honored to be here with you. I'm also learning more by being here. I hope whatever we're going to discuss together is going to be of benefit to your entourage out there.
Yes. Thank you so much. It should be, because I mean, you're just not an ordinary person. You are you once was a teacher, an accountant, so you've been through most of a lot in your life journey, and it says a lot about your, I wouldn't say your age, but your journey as a whole. Yes. So let's talk about Ranape. Is Ranape from Emalahleni, where you born and bred here?
Well, definitely not. I wasn't born here. I've grew up in a very small town called New Scotland. I nearly said Scotland. People are going to be so confused. New Scotland is very close to Lotte in Ermelo. I grew up there. My grandmother grew me up, and my sister, who were grown by her. And then I attended a boarding school, but fast forwarding that, I then started working as a private teacher at the age of 17. I was a private teacher, a high school teacher. Simtolile High School, most people would know it is in Khalsibande district.
Yeah.
And then from there I went to Mpuluzi Senior Secondary School, still a private teacher there, still in the same district, Khalsibande district.
What is a private teacher?
It's a private teacher because at the time we were not qualified teachers. So that's what we were called. We were called private teachers because I wasn't qualified.
Okay.
I had just finished school and I was assisting at school.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, as we were saying.
Yes, and then from there I then went to Gangwane government. By then, somewhere in 1990, I worked with them. I worked there as an account clerk. But through their internal skills development arrangements, I would call it that way, through their skills development programs, they then took me and some of my colleagues to Mangosuthu Technikon College.
Wow.
So I studied there. I did state finance there. And then I went back. That's when I started the real accounting work, when I went back. They took me back once again to Mangosuthu to do a higher diploma in public administration, and that's where administration comes in now. But I came back again. They then took me to Stellenbosch to do an MBA there. I guess I was a very good employee because they...
Yeah, because I'm like, wow, they're taking you to all these universities. They still take you, they employ you and they allow you to grow.
Yes. Like when I was in Stellenbosch in Cape Town, I would go once a quarter. I would go away for 2 weeks and come back. Once a quarter, I would go away and come back. So then I came back. I worked for them. I guess out of the qualification that I was getting as I was going in and out, I ended up being a director in the Department of Finance.
Wow.
Yeah, but shortly after that, I then left. I went to Mpumalanga Agricultural Corporation. They recruited me there as a director of corporate services. But because I was now linked to Witbank, I was getting married in Witbank, I then moved. And when I moved to Witbank. And when I got to Witbank, I then got employed by Nkangala District Municipality. And that was the last government institution that employed me before I then decided I need to go solo. I need to go do what other people are trying to do outside.
So let's talk about the municipality that you worked for in Emelo. What were you doing?
Not Emelo. The municipality was here. I worked for Nkangala District Municipality.
No, I'm saying when
the schools.
Sorry, we're losing each other. I think I'm losing you then.
Okay.
You said you were working as a clerk.
As a clerk? The clerk was already in government. It was Mpumalanga Department of Finance in Gangwane in Nelspruit. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I had moved to Nelspruit that time, so I didn't pick up that one.
Yes. Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, maybe because I'm not so familiar with Nelspruit. When you say Gangwane, anyone from Nelspruit, you might have picked it up that it's
Gangwane is what it was called before. Remember, we had
Nelspruit was called Gangwane.
Yes, the government institution was called Gangwane. Yes, it was called Gangwane government. Before it became Mpumalanga government, it used to be called Gangwane government. So when I was a clerk in Gangwane government. When I was an accountant, I was still in Gangwane government. Then when I started going up a bit, I became a deputy director in finance. It was then called Mpumalanga government. Wow. That was after 1994.
Yes. So with all this, like them sending you to school, to varsity, to accumulate all these qualifications, I want to find out what is it about you that made them to be so dedicated in what were you applying, or they would suggest that you do that. What about you that made them to be so much dedicated in growing you as a person and in the company?
Well, it's a very funny story, yet amazing to a certain extent, because when I was picked up to start going there, I was actually the first woman to be chosen in the department.
Wow.
When I was working in the department, I'm one person who likes exploring. So wherever there was a shortage in the department, I would always make myself available. I said, okay, I'll come and assist. So what happened in that very special moment, in my senior employer, I would call him an employer, it was a Mr. Delport at the time. His secretary was away, so he didn't have a secretary in his office. And he was looking for somebody who will stand in for the secretary because I said, no, it's fine, I can help you. So I then went to his office. I was working in his office for a week, if I remember very well. And there was this big guy who came from Mangosuthu Technikon. He was there to recruit the guys that they would normally take to the institution. So I then started asking him curiously about this guy. I said, but why are you only recruiting men? And he said, no, we've never taken women before.
Yeah.
And I said to him, you are here to make them write a test. Why can't I write your test?
Wow.
And he said, no, you can write if you want to.
Yeah.
So my boss allowed me. I went to write the test. And I was among the tops in the test. So he came back and said, oh, why? Well done, you passed. And then I looked at my boss and said, then does it mean I'm also going?
Wow.
and he just laughed at me and said, yeah, I think you can go. So that's how then it started going. And I guess I was coming back with good results. And that's why they kept on thinking, I think I'm good to be invested in.
So,
Which I think what I can tell young people who are working, wherever you are working, don't always say, I can't work for Mpulukeng. She's absent. I can't work for her. She must come back and do her job. You don't grow yourself when you do that. Make yourself available to assist in each and every corner of your university. Of your institution.
Yeah.
Because it builds you, it makes you to be an all-rounder, it makes you to understand the institution much better than anybody else. But if you will keep on saying, it's not my babe, I'm not doing it,
It's not my job.
You are actually depriving yourself. You will come out of that institution knowing only one thing. If you are somebody who issues out invoices, you will know only invoices for 20 years. So I think that is what built my character, that I would go to salaries, I would go to expenditure, I would go to the senior's office and work there. So even if I were to be left in the department, I tell you, I think I would be knowing everything about the department. And I guess that's why I ended up being in the higher echelon of the institution, because I wasn't scared of working anyway. Even if when they were saying, we need to work overtime, I would be the first person to raise my hand. I said, okay, I'm available, I can work.
Sometimes I think I recall with myself, as I was studying where I'm employed now, I was just an admin. And my boss then, we can say he was lazy. And at that time, it used to frustrate me because he needed me to do almost everything, even his job. I was like, but why must I do that? In as much as I would do it because I don't have a choice, I have to do it. It was not my will, but I was like, I have to do it. In turn, when he left, I was the one to be considered because now I knew my way around it. So I want to attest to the thing of saying, if you are at the company, expand yourself.
Yes.
To go anywhere. Even if you can feel like, no, my boss doesn't like me, he's overworking me, he's enslaving me. somehow there is whatever we can say in a God's way, that God is preparing you for something great. You may not know where you will end up. So take it with grace and be open-minded to it. So that's what you say.
You've got it. You've got it. You just got it. So I really feel so bad when I see young people being in an institution for more than 5 years, but you still don't know much about the institution. You don't know much about the institution. You only know your office. You only get in, you lock your office, you do what you do, and that's it.
You must be open-minded.
You must be open-minded. You must be open-minded if you want to grow, because unfortunately, Matabam, you are growing to build a family as well.
Yeah.
You are growing, you will have children. What are you going to teach them? Are you only going to teach them the one thing that you have known from the beginning of your career up to the end of your career? All that I knew in my career was to prepare invoices. That's very unfair. And it's actually, the unfairness is created by yourself, not the employer. It's created by yourself, because I don't think there's any employer who would say no if you say, if you don't have anybody to assist there, consider me, I'm available.
Yeah.
They would really think positively on that.
And truth is, in a company or any institution, in as much as you are employed to do something, you will still have time to assist in other things. It's not like for the whole week you are unable to do other things. You can still do that. So as young people, as even older people watching this, it's not too late to start expanding ourselves within the organization that we employed at. So let's talk about agriculture, because now you were into accounting, into finance, into administration. Then now you're diverting to, is it still the curiosity in you?
It was a very short-lived experience.
Okay.
Though I think God was creating me for bigger things later on in my life.
Yeah.
I joined the corporation in January 2002, and I left in August 2002 because I had found another job at Nkangala District Municipality. So, but it taught me a lot of things. It taught me a lot of things about agriculture, about production, about what you can do in agriculture. Then I developed my love for it. I developed it, although I couldn't use it at that point in time, but believe me, I'm using it big time today.
Yeah, I can attest, because now you have a company, Fresh4U.
Yes.
What is it about?
A very great company, in my view. I'm very passionate about it. Fresh4U is a vegetable processing company. So we process vegetables. We don't grow them. We process them.
Oh.
So what do we mean when we say we process them? We make salads. I think we've got about 42 lines of salads that we're making.
Wow.
We also do pre-packed vegetables, like the ones that you buy, your 500 grams, your 1 kg.
Mixed veggies.
Your mixed veggies. If you want for stew, for whatever, we do that as well. We also make soups. Winter is coming now. And because winter is coming, people would say less of salads. We need something warm. So we prepare soups as well. But generally, if people have events like you have maybe a mini party, a wedding, we also do meals. So we do platters, we do your bobotis, your chicken lasagnas, your beef lasagnas, we do your stroganoff. So any kind of meal, we do it in 380 grams, 500 grams. So if you feel like I don't want to cook for the whole week, we can pack those grams for you, pack those grams for you. You come, you heat up, and then you have dinner for yourself and your family. So that's where we come into the space. And this space has made me to be very much in love with the young Makotis, because when they want to go visit their in-laws, maybe a bit far, they'll say, "Mommy, please prepare me this salad, but please make sure you don't put the branding on it." So, by all means, my girl, I'm here for that. I'm all yours. I can do that. So I would prepare salads for them. I would prepare Even the pre-packed vegetables, if you want a 500-gram pumpkin, a 5 kg pumpkin, we also do that. We also know young ladies are very busy these days, and there's an event at home. You need to go and do your pila ma veg. Come to us. We'll do the work for you. Come pick up your 5 kg potatoes. Come pick up your 2 kg chips that are ready to be put into the pot. We'll do that for you.
So you started that. That was the main idea of you starting that Fresh4U to help us young Makotis.
Yeah, well, it wasn't necessarily young Makotis, but I've seen it is very handy for them. It has become very, very handy for them. It has even become handy for young students at universities, because I have some who will come and pack about 5 different types of food because it has got shelf life. So they will take it for a week, put it in the fridge at Pretoria University. They have a meal for the whole week. And maybe the following week they are coming back home. We pack for them. They take it to school.
So that's your company.
That's the company.
Your baby.
My baby.
Obviously, not that I'm judging. You're not preparing those things yourself. You have employees.
Of course, yes. Yes, we do have employees that we're working with. We're looking into expanding now that we have introduced the pre-packed vegetables. It never used to be in our line. It's something that we've just recently introduced, but luckily for us, Highland Spa is already buying from us those pre-packed vegetables. Wow. So if you want that, you can get it from Highland Spa. But even
it can be better to get it from you, from your company.
Well, if you want it from us, it will be in bulk. But I'm also protecting my retailers. I'm protecting my retailers because that relationship is very important to me. So we supply them in bulk. We've got a salad bar in Highland Spa. So we supply them in bulk and then they distribute there. We also have Canoncop Spa. We supply them. Tuspit Spa, we supply them. OK has just joined the team, OK Miklibek. So we're also supplying them. But the trick in it is just that you need to be very, very strict on food safety. Very, very strict on food safety, because this is a product that can kill people. So you've got to be extremely strict in your training of your employees, training of yourself, cleanliness.
The places you store them.
Yes, the storage, the temperatures, even the suppliers, where you buy the vegetables from. Yeah. I've heard suppliers saying, yeah, Fresh4U, you're not fair. You don't want to buy vegetable from us. Mm-hmm. You've got to be GAP approved for me to go to your place.
So someone in their back room or someone who have a farm somewhere cannot say, but I have a farm, this is what I'm growing cucumbers and this is what. So you need them to comply with the necessary laws in order for you to.
Okay. We have what we call the GAP practices, which is the practices that say you have good agricultural practices. So I must know, for instance, I'm looking for a cabbage this week, but I must see your papers. When did you last fertilize this cabbage? And if this cabbage was fertilized yesterday, I can't take it. I can't take it because it's still contaminated. It's still poisonous. So if I take it from you with that, then I start chopping it and making that coleslaw, then that will be very dangerous for my customers. So you need to be GAP approved for me to consider you as my supplier.
So you don't play when it comes to...
No, thank you. When it comes to the safety of my customers, I don't play because I know I can go to jail. As much as I have an insurance against that, but I don't love the insurance. What I love is making sure that everybody is safe when consuming the food.
Because what's the use of the insurance?
What's the use of the insurance when people have died?
Yeah.
So you need to be very strict on that, making sure that sanitizer is the name of the game. Washing the vegetables the correct way is the name of the game. You must salt them. Every time you put a spinach, it must go through salt before you can take it. Or we even have vegetable spices for cleaning that. You have to make sure that you clean it. Yes, you've got to clean it. When you package it in the fridge, it must be in such a way that it doesn't go to contamination. Like in the place where we're working, we've got different fridges. because you can't put chicken where there is beef. You can't put fish where there is what. It has to be different fridges because contamination can go there very easily.
So in the game of business, a lot of integrity is needed.
Extremely.
If you want to go further, because there are people who can give you money and be like, but I can sell it to you at a lower price, but you like integrity
I
first.
I would never. You've got to be extremely ethical in this kind of a business. My customers' lives are much more important than anything. I would rather have 2 customers than having 10 customers the wrong way. So that, unfortunately, I can't take. That's why I need records before I can buy anything from you. And this has, unfortunately, made it a practice that every now and then I need to be in Pretoria for my vegetables weekly. I missed today because I buy my vegetables on Saturday. So it means 5 o'clock on Monday, I must go to Pretoria.
Wow. So, I've learned so much with regards to products. Like, since as the consumers, we just go there, you buy whatever you're buying. I didn't know there's so much process to getting them in the fridge cabinet and everything. So for anyone who's into agriculture, they not product processing products, they need to follow the right procedure in order to be affiliated with your big supermarkets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They need to do the good agricultural practices for them to get to the retail shops. There's no behind doors. There's nothing. There's nothing. But even then, even if you do it for yourself, for your own kitchen, make sure you don't fertilize today and have the spinach tomorrow. You will end up killing your own family. When you fertilize, make sure you follow. If it is 7 days after fertilizing, you just have to make sure you wait 7 days after fertilizing before you can harvest and start cooking.
But growing up, we never fertilized.
Because we were organic. And that's how good it was. I also never thought it is something very important. I would go to my grandmother's vegetables. I would take a cup. Yes, because there it was organic. You were not fertilizing. You were not doing all these things of new fertilizers that we see today.
Wow. Sure. We've learned a lot. I hope as someone into agriculture, you've picked up something for yourself. And if you want to be her supplier, the procedure, you can hit her up. And later on, we'll put in her details, obviously. So you're not just doing the Fresh4U.
Yes.
You're also into petrol
or
filling station. How did you get into that business? I'm so curious, so curious about it, because for me, it always felt like it's something very far. Like that, for me to even be sitting with someone into that business, I always thought, like, excuse my ignorance, I thought it's white people's business and mostly men business. How, can you please take us through you getting to that business? How did it come about? Because seeing that by now we have established that you're a very curious woman. So, but please take us through the...
Curious indeed. I then worked for Nkangala District Municipality.
Okay.
And I had a senior position there. I was a manager corporate services. And I love that department because it makes you know everything in the institution because everybody goes through you. So when we were doing our strat plan, our strategic documents, our main document in the municipality will be your IDP, Integrated Development Plan. So there would be many policies under the IDP, LED being one of them. So when we were discussing the LED document in the main, we would always talk about creating jobs, and would invite participants, stakeholders that are in job creating, your caterers, your hair salon people, whoever that would be doing business, and we would talk about this LED strategy. And we spoke a lot about jobs being created by small businesses. We spoke a lot about the economy growing because of small businesses. And I'm sure you would also notice even now that as much as government employs, but a lot of businesses that we see these days are businesses that are coming from small businesses. So then when we kept on discussing that, then my mind started turning and I said, but if I keep on talking about creating businesses and I'm telling people, don't I think I can go to the other side and create the jobs myself? And it kept on worrying me for a long time that why don't I jump the ship and start creating jobs
I hear that that's what happens with entrepreneurship. If you have something you need to do, it will keep on bugging you. It will not give you peace.
Yes.
Okay.
So every time I looked at them, I said, are they creating enough? Can't I add to the number? Are they creating enough jobs? And coincidentally, when things happen in your mind, it's God saying to you, this is where I'm positioning you to now. So coincidentally, there was an offer from Sasol. There was a filling station downtown. And Sasol was putting that filling station out for sale. And there was emphasis on women participating in the industry. And this is what I highly appreciate with the government for ensuring that everybody participate in the economic space. Yeah. So those policies, I would imagine, are very good policies. And I would invite everybody to really heed a call on these policies.
Some of us, we don't even know these policies.
Yes, you must read on these policies because uzoyithola kanjani uhlele koneni. So you must read and understand them. They will put the policies out there, but they will not come and feed you and say, this is what you must do with this policy. So I applied for that filling station downtown. Being a woman, I was considered for an interview. So I did go to Ranape. They were still in Ranape at the time. I went to Ranape for an interview. There was a bit of mathematics in the interview. By the way, it was a staggered interview. So we had to write before we could go to the actual interview. So there was a bit of mathematics. There was a bit of accounting. So So I went through that. I passed the first phase. So I had to go for the second phase. They needed a business plan. My MBA came handy. Although I must say I didn't actually complete my MBA. I just went 90% and I couldn't complete because I changed jobs, unfortunately. Oh. But what I learned from the MBA, is what I'm practicing today. I really appreciate those professors that were in front of me in those years.
So you're saying MBA is very vital for a person who wants to be in entrepreneurship? Extremely. It actually takes you to each and every bit. You would learn about IT, you would learn about strategy, you would learn about HR, you learn about everything that you will definitely need when you get to the business environment. And it has been very, very handy for me. So fast forward, I was appointed by Sasol as the franchisee for the filling station. It was doing very low liters at the time. But that also assisted because it made the price to be low as well. Because the higher the liters, the higher the price. Okay. So that's how I started. My boss wasn't happy with me at all. Obvious, naturally, because I can imagine when I said in the company.
He called me many times trying to beg me, please, shouldn't we get somebody to run the business for you? And, I understood him. He had really invested a lot in us. That person made us work very hard. Sometimes we'd think he was too much. But he really taught us a lot. Even if I see my colleagues today, they are in higher places somewhere because of the way that we were grilled and groomed. So I also went to business then. Then I saw myself creating 20 jobs and I said, wow.
Praise God.
Is this what you wanted me to do? Dear Lord, 20 jobs. They went to 25 jobs and it wasn't just jobs, it's decent jobs. Because if I comparatively look at what we are, I don't know whether I need to talk about this, but what we are paying, we are sometimes even higher than what your higher retail shops are paying. Yeah. What your Pick and Pays are paying, what your shop, we are really paying very decently.
Is it not maybe your secret that they should be happy in order to save is better? Maybe.
Maybe it is, but we are regulated as well. So the payment doesn't necessarily come from us.
From
It is,
you.
it is regulated payment. So they give us the rate that we need to pay them per hour, which is, I think, it's very good for them. So yes, that's how I got to the petroleum industry, a very good industry, a very interesting industry, where I'm
Is it not male dominated?
It is, but what's the difference between us and men?
Oh, I love your
I don't think
thought
there's
process.
any. When we go to the meeting, we go to the same meeting with them. When we contribute, sometimes we contribute more than them. Because I think, but God said most in His word. He said, I will make you a helper that will be like you. He was talking to a man. And why would He say that if there wasn't something particular about you that you would contribute to a man's life?
Wow,
So surely when we went there, I think there are areas where we're contributing a bit better than them. But yes, they have the muscles, but I don't think there's any area that they go to which we cannot go to without being rude. But that's the direction in business. What they touch, we touch. What they aim, we aim. The kind of work they do, we do. If a truck comes in, I go and receive petrol from the truck. If there is a balance sheet to be presented to SARS at the end of the year, I can present a balance sheet, I can present income statements, I can present a cash flow. Similarly, they will have to do the same thing. The way I understand my financial statements, I think it's the same way that he understands his financial statements.
So what do you love the most about in this industry, petroleum industry?
Well, I love it because it has given me growth. I must be honest with you, I'm not getting the same check that I was getting when I was working at the municipality. I'm still getting less than that.
Wow.
But
When
what
you're
is
saying check?
a payment, the salary?
Oh, you also have a salary?
Yeah, you must have a salary in a business.
Oh, even though all the money is yours?
No, it's not. The money is for the business. The money doesn't belong to you.
All right.
Because when you see a truck in front of you with 20,000 liters of petrol, that truck is worth 554,000 roughly that you need to pay. And you need to make sure that what is in the truck you sell in less than 3 days, because you must pay in less than 3 days. So there's no way that that money can be yours. So what you do, you make sure that you put a salary for yourself. Just like the employees are getting paid, you also get paid. And sometimes you don't even get paid when you see that the cash flow this month doesn't allow me to get the salary. Let me rather pay them. I would come last. That will be the name of the game, because they must be more motivated than yourself. So yeah, but the bottom line is you must have a salary, because you are not allowed to put your hand in the cookie jar. It doesn't belong to you. So yes.
So yeah, sorry, I interrupted you. You were saying you're not getting as much as you got.
Yes, my salary at the municipality is still way too high than what I'm getting. But the beauty where I am now is that at least you can build a balance sheet. You can build your own business, and the business will be worth, for example, the business will be worth 2 million rand. So you know that if you were to leave the business, you can sell the business and you can get 2 million rand. You can't do that when you are working. So probably saving 2 million rand is easier in the business than saving 2 million rand when you are employed. So that's what I love in that. You can also be able to buy another business, which, by the way, is what we have done. We then bought another business. So there are 2 filling stations now. But the beauty in it is not the filling station. The beauty in it is that we have created 25 more jobs, which is what really propelled me to join this. So there are 25 more jobs. So now when we pay more than 50 people in a month.
Wow. These are people, guys, as I told you, these are people that I wanted to have conversation with. Everybody has come so that we have a different view on how things are done. Because truth is, Ranape, when we see people out there, we don't know how it's done. And we sometimes, I'm sure even your family, sometimes your extended family or whoever, they always think you have money. So now having to learn that you have a salary, you cannot just go and take money. It's something that we needed to learn as people who are not into this business, and also knowing that the joy also is into creating employment for other people. It's what I'm sure that apart from the money, it's what makes you sleep at night.
Yes,
like I've made
it
a difference.
is. It is. Honestly, when you see the month end saying, I kalanga mama. you just get excited. Good bafuna take KFC. And you are delaying them. I kalanga. They want to hear their phone saying ti 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 ti. So that really excites me to see that excitement what they can do. To see them carrying bags of meal and going home at the end of the month. It's so humbling. It's very fulfilling. It's very, very fulfilling. But by the way, coming to how I came to it, because when you have to get into this industry, you must have 60% of the money that is needed there. You can't borrow more than 60%. The 60% must be what you personally have. You can only borrow 40%. It never made sense to me until I was in, because that 40% from the profit that you make monthly, you must be able to pay the bank. So that premium that you pay the bank, say the premium is 50,000 rand, what you need to pay the bank. So if you have taken all of it as a debt, you will not be able to pay everybody. So it is a protection of some kind. So you must have that money. Most of the filling stations now, they range from 4,000. I mean, for 4 million, I wish it was 4,000. They range from 4 million upwards. Now, if you buy for a filling station, it even goes to 16 million now. So you'd imagine that if you want a 16 million filling station, 60% of that is what you must have as cash. And by the way, for the 40% that you borrow, you must also have security for it. So if you are borrowing 2 million rand, you must have a house that is worth 2 million rand. So that if you fail to pay the 2 million rand, they must get your house to replace the debt. So you've got to work really, really hard. But it's not hard, Mpulukeng. It's not hard. It's not hard. Don't stress. But what I always say to young people, whenever you see anything called property, it doesn't matter how much it costs, even if it costs 100,000, grab it.
Any property.
Grab it.
Even flats somewhere.
Grab it. It will become very handy at some point. When you see a property, just grab it. Yes, my girl. Yes, grab it. You don't know how God prepared me for this. And
just share.
I don't know. I don't understand this man. I don't know what kind of a husband he is. I don't know what kind of a father he is. He's just an amazing somebody.
Yes.
He made a property in Nelspruit available to me for, if I remember very well, it was 900,000. I was still working, by the way, for Mpumalanga Government Department of Finance at the time. A guy just came to me and said, Matebs, there's a flat there, there's a piece of land that they are selling. That piece of land is good for flats. So I think you must invest in it. I went to the bank, I applied. I didn't know what he was talking about, but I bought the flat. After buying the flat, I went from one bank to the other, trying to build the flats that this guy spoke to me about. It was very viable for more than 100 flats, but no bank wanted to talk to me. I wasn't credit worthy for the amount that was needed for that. But I was getting calls left, right, and center. No, every white guy was calling me. Everybody knew me by name. Everybody was giving me an offer for that stand. And because it's sold now, nobody will grab me. I can openly say I end up getting an offer for 4 million rand for that flat.
You sold it?
I sold it.
Wow.
But if you go to that place now, you see more than 100 flats. So those people made a lot of money, but the little that I got took me to my destination.
Yeah, because look, we bought it at 900,000, then you sold it at 4 million.
That's the 60% that I used to buy the filling station.
Wow.
Yes.
Yo, business class all together now.
Yes. So even if I pass there today, it's just opposite the TUT in Nelspruit on your way to Barberton. Even if I see those massive flats, I am saying, yes, this used to be my place, but I said it has taken me to places.
Wow.
So young people try to do that property. And young people, stop putting together Stokvels for Christmas. Stop doing that. It is not taking you anywhere. If you decide you want to be in Stokvels, be in Stokvels for serious business. Don't be in Stokvels because you ufuna matsoho magushona. Be in Stokvels because you can put together 20, 30,000 rand per annum as young people. You can put it together as a team. And when you go over 10 years, that's almost 200,000 without interest that you would have got.
Yeah.
Why can't you buy yourselves a 4-room as a group with that? But yet continue to save, yet continue to save, investing. Then you're putting yourself in property. But the way we are putting together our savings together, it has got no direction.
Mostly it's for clothes as well.
Most is for clothes, for shoes, bags, for pots.
Yeah.
That's all these young girls are doing. And I really don't appreciate that, Bantabam. I don't appreciate it because it is not building you. I read a very painful story 2 days ago because I like reading a lot, particularly business stories. Yeah. I heard a story that was saying there are 2 things that determine how you have to make it in life. It is age and finance. And normally with us blacks, these things don't come together. But you need them together to make it in life. Because at my age, I can't say I want to open a mall. The age doesn't allow me anymore. I might maybe have the credit worthy to go to the bank and say, can I get money to put a mall? But I can never run around now with that mall and collecting money from that one and that one. The age is not there, but you have the age. But probably you don't have the money. So these 2, they need to be together. So young people must know how to put money together. Young people must stop thinking that when I put money together, I must be seen to be better than that one. I must seen to be better than, I must be well dressed. I must have a beautiful hairstyle. I must have a beautiful makeup. It shouldn't be about you alone. See if you can put things together as a team for you to be in the destination that you want to be in. But the minds must be alike.
Wow. At this point, Temba, I think we need to even have a business seminar where we just invite people and they learn from great minds such as you, because truth is, as black children, as black people, we found ourselves lost in luxury lifestyle, luxury shoes, clothes, food. And it's not taking us anywhere.
It's not.
And we will never be able to rule. We'll always be ruled because we don't have money. When you don't have money, it's even practical in our families. When you don't have money, no one listens to you. Painfully
true.
This one is propelling me to create an event where we're going to talk about business, and it's going to happen. So I know the other time when we spoke, we were talking about giving back to the community.
Yes.
How can we talk about that shortly? How do you do it? Because I know most business people, they always find a way to give back to the community. So how are you doing it?
Well, it's a project that I love so much. I started in 2013 with the project. I started this project in 2013 because I saw a lot of young graduates, well, not graduates then, young students who would have passed matric, particularly in the township. They would pass matric and they will be going to university for the first time. They are going to Joburg, they are going to Cape Town, they are going to Pretoria, but they will be seeing university for the first time. They will be staying in a room alone for the first time with a roommate and whoever. But most of these kids, as much as they would be very sharp in mind, you would find that they don't have the necessities for being in that room. To an extent that when they have to wake up and go to a shower for the first time in that place, the child doesn't have good underwears to be proud to go to the shower. You don't have a towel to wrap yourself to be proud and go to the shower. The soap you don't have. The bedding that you need to dress your bed with, you don't have. Thina nje ekhaya sikunikeza itshalo ukuthi hayi uzofika ulale na uzowubona mawufika. Which is not bad, is what we can afford as parents. But in this instant, I then picked up that there would be those that would be easily demoralized when they get to the university, particularly in the residential area. You find your roommate with beautiful linen, white babinos, they are there, big sheets, they are there. And well, it shouldn't really take you back. You must know why you are there. But it puts you back a little bit as well.
Then we must be honest.
Yes, we must be honest. It pulls you down emotionally. So that's how I started the project. I called it an underway grant.
Underway grant.
Yes. Yeah. And then I said to myself, because I can't afford that much, but on a yearly basis, from January to December or October, I will try to save so that at the end of the year, I must have 10,000 Rand. So I was saving that, and until the business also started helping me as a donation that the business would give. Then I said, I will look at the best student in the township. Not your schools that were close to.
Not the town.
Not the town.
Not Quintal.
Yeah.
Anything about
Quintal 1. Quintal 1. Yeah. So it was for Quintal 1s. So I would have the best student. The district assisted me because I'm doing it for the area in the Nkangala district. So they assist me yearly to identify that child. Yeah. So then I would give 10,000 Rand to that child. I've seen it doing wonders. They have come back to me, some of them. We have some that are doctors today. I was talking to a doctor 2 days ago who was my winner from Thabsile Senior Secondary School. I have a mechanical engineer who is from that same school again. He is with Sasol today. We have few of them that are in UCT. Most of them are doing medicine. And it was it's very humbling stories that they tell you when they tell you today what that 10,000 did for them. One was saying, Mama, I didn't even have money to go to Cape Town. I bought a ticket with that money and I went to school. I have an actuarial scientist who is working for Holland today.
My God.
He was with me earlier last year telling me his stories. He's driving. He said, Mama, there was a time when we were giving after classes, your maths and physics, where the mines would come and bring teachers. I went there once. I saw kids coming in cars. I had torn shoes. I didn't go back the following day. But then my teacher said, you need to come. And I had to work hard. And I was so amazed when I got this grant. It was from Bonginsimbi Senior Secondary School.
Wow.
So I love this grant so much, to an extent that Sasol has partnered with me now. So now I don't only give it to one student, and I'll give it to 2 students, because I was complaining that 90% of the ones that I've got have been boys. I couldn't get girls. So I said I want to at least motivate girls. Yeah. So last year, a year before, I did get a girl from Bonginsimba. Unfortunately, last year I couldn't get a girl still.
Okay, so as the community, because I believe everybody in Wheatbank, as people of Wheatbank, maybe in business, are you open to other people chipping in and helping with that, with funds, donating?
Not very easy. I'm sure you are saying, can I assist other people? Are you saying that?
No, I'm saying, because this is a good initiative. There's someone who says, obviously, I cannot afford 10,000. I can only give 100 rand.
More than willing. By the way, you are coming to one of my bigger projects that is tossing in my mind. It has been tossing for 2 years, I must be honest. I have a project in Pulukeng where I want to see women contributing at least 30 rand per year, not per month, per year. If you can contribute more than that, it's also okay. I want this project to be called Mothers Doing It. Because in the schools that I've been going to, none of those schools has got a school hall. When it rains and they have to be in assembly, they would stand outside. When it is hot and they have to be in assembly, it will be outside. I've also seen some of them fainting while in assembly because it is hot. But then the department can't afford everything. The budget is very minimal. We must agree as South Africans. It's not everybody that contribute to the tax. And the tax is only the means of finance that government has. They don't have any other money other than the tax that we pay to the government. And there's very few that are working who are able to contribute to the tax pot. So some of the things they can't get to, even if they want to reach there, they can't reach to those. So we need to assist as parents, we need to assist as community members if we want our children to be where we want them to be. So when I heard this 30 rand per annum, I thought if it can be 1 million of us women, it's 3 million rand. Can build it immediately. The following year, you build for another school. The following year, you build for another school. And it's only 30 rand a year. I don't think it's something really that you can go after us and say, I gave you my 30 rand, I gave you my 30 rand. You can just pull it out and it will make a difference, a big difference. Some of these kids pass better than others because others have got access to your internet things. It's not every child that has got access to that. But if you can plug that in the school, they would have similar access. And then they would do much more. They would produce the same results. So it also depends on the capacity that the family has, that also determine how the child can do well at school. But if we can make the platform to be equal to all of them, you would be surprised what you would get. The actuarial scientist that I'm talking about today, uphuma edunusa. Why is it Dunusa Mbuluke?